Sure.
Well, when 3 years ago we set out hunting for an alternative platform that will give our people a credible opportunity to be able to realize and achieve their dreams of having a leadership that is responsive and reliable. The reason is that why this surge, heightened and increased the desire to have this alternative platform was as a result of the dashing, that was as a result of the fact that the present regime led by President Mohamed Buhari has dashed the hope of Nigerian people. Apart from 1992 presidential election of MK Abiola, the closest we came to having a people interest-driven election was Buhari. People decided to forgo ethnic arguments, religious arguments. People even decided to forgo the issue of academic competence and qualifications. There was even people who were even saying, if it is NEPA bill that he has, let him put it. That underscores the desire of the people to have been then elected as a president. But it looks like we overrated, overhyped the Buhari presidency, without actually understanding the content of the man, Buhari, when it has to do with capacity to provide leadership in a modern, developing world like Nigeria, vis-a-vis the fact that leadership has gone beyond the old, static perception about leadership to something that is innovative. And not just that that Buhari presidency is a failure, but I can say that the government is a total disaster. It's beyond being a failure. It's a total disaster. I think the president does not have the capacity, the competence, and the ideas to drive Nigeria into a modern nation state. And I think hanging on to issues of corruption, I think was what deceived us, because the Nigerian nation had been battered by corrupt art, and we wanted an opportunity to move a little bit from the high level of corruption that have overshadowed our activities. That was how we got into the hand of Buhari. I was among the people who promoted it because I thought that he was going to be different. I felt like if I did not support him, that I would feel like in my life that in him we lost an opportunity to have a credible leader. But it's also good that we tested him and to understand that at the end of the day, he has nothing to offer a modern nation. I respect his public, the public perception that he has a high principle, which, if put to test, might not stand, because a man who ran an election with stolen fund, this donation that was made during the election, I was part of that election. I saw the donation and I saw how it came from governors, I saw how it came from businessmen, some businessmen who were, of questionable character, and it came from public office holders, politically exposed people who have also questionable character. And he never questioned the source of his campaign fund. He spent over 100 billion in that election. And for him to accept those funding raises a serious question mark on his morality as a person. So you can, it's like dining with the devil and then coming to pledge your loyalty to Almighty God. So in all this, I think the fight against corruption is a ruse. He doesn't even know what the fight against corruption is all about. The fight against corruption is not supposed to be a media headline, like see on the headline, you have arrested this. These are afterthought. The fight against corruption is the ability to provide the enabling platform to block those loopholes, those platforms that allow people to take those monies. Like for instance, somebody opens a multiple bank account and is able to take salaries for people who are dead. How do you block it? Not to arrest the man. Arresting the man is secondary, but stopping another generation of criminals like that man is what is important in the fight against corruption. That is why you see like the BVN formula. You can arrest 1 billion people that are involved in corrupt acts, but what the BVN has done is is sustainable is intergenerational. For instance, it automatically removed almost 20% of corruption that has to go through the banking institutions with the fingerprint and all sorts of things that came on board with that. And that is how leaders are supposed to be thinking, not limiting yourself to arrest him, and keep him somewhere. When you are dead and when your government ends or something happens, what happens in the next 40 years? People arresting people, our prisons will not be able to contain them. But when you block those platforms that allow people to engage in corrupt act, you automatically end it, and that requires a lot of capacity, that requires a lot of innovative thinking. And I think President Buhari lacks any of this. He doesn't have the capacity for innovative thinking, with all due respect to him and his age, which I would have expected at this age for him to play a statesman role. Like after this 4-year tenure, I would have expected that the best thing he would do is to quit getting himself involved in the presidential contest, because it's not about whether he will win or not, but he'll be doing a great disservice to our democracy, to our march to move from the old to the new. So it doesn't matter how you think you are the cleanest person in Nigeria. It's a lie. For people like us and our party who disagree with that, he has not been able to act decisively on corrupt issues. That is when, at the moment, I lost hope in him, because I thought he was going to be decisive when it has to do with corrupt act involving people around him. We saw the ministers who were involved in arms issues, they were never probed. The second batch of the arms probe report that covered tenure of some people working for him never saw the light of the day. The refund people are making, whether in subsidy, whether the ones that are reading and getting from people's home, there is no proper accounting of the money. We can't even know where these monies are. And also you saw people who work for him, who are his ministers, who are former governors, who have been indicted by different judicial panel of inquiries in their state. The least a president that believes in fight against corruption could do would have to order for investigation of these atrocities or these allegations against this particular person. But at the end of the day, he is hobnobbing with them. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. He saw how it took him, almost a year on his SGF. So when it has to do with him and his people, he can't even find the definition of corruption again. But when it has to do with an opponent, he knows how to move and even break the person's home. So I say his government is a total distraction, it's a total disaster. And that is how the Action People's Party decided that we are going to provide the agenda, we are going to provide the new narrative that anything but not President Muhammad Buhari, that in a modern day nation like Nigeria, with a population of over 180 million people, there is an insult. But there was something I saw on social media yesterday, people saying in a country where you have Aliko Dangote, in a country where you have people like Tony Elumelu, in a country where you have people like Ija, in a country where you have people like a whole lot of people they were mentioning, to discuss about Buhari, it's like an insult, because he has nothing to offer in a modern state. And look at what is happening all over Europe. The new generation of leaders who are coming, new thinking, new idea. I cannot be ruled by a man who thinks he's doing me a favor. You desperately needed this job. You begged for it. We gave it to you. Your life just changed, but the life of the people you're leading did not change. And you keep speaking about corruption and corrupt people. Who are really the corrupt people? Who are stealing the money? This country have had almost over 2 budgets, totaling over 15 trillion since over 16 trillion since it came on board. But what is the impact on the woman selling granite in Sagamo or in Akokwa or in Opa East? So at the end of the day, you see that the lives of the people are getting bad, and he keeps talking about this usual rhetoric of fighting corruption or bad people, these imaginary bad people he talks about, but most of them are dining and eating with him. So the least I feel we can do as young people was to come together, provide a third credible and strong alternative to join people of like minds, anything but not President Muhammad Buhari, to make sure that we send him out of power legitimately in 2019. The impunity he has brought, the disrespect to the rule of law, this is somebody that promised that he will not reenact the lawlessness of 1983. But 1984, but today you can see that even somebody like me, I have been a victim of that growing culture of impunity. I've been arrested more than 4 times under his regime. I spent a total of almost over 8 months in detention since he came on board. But this is not just about me. It's about other numerous Nigerians who are languishing in different detention camps because somebody feels from his own consent he can define what is corruption, he can define what is rule of law, he can define how he wants to keep you. Now the court are raped front and back, and even the courts have become so important because they cannot even challenge them. Their homes are being raided and they are more or less being silenced. If not, tell me the reason why somebody like, I'm not a Muslim, I'm a Christian. Tell me the reason why somebody like Al-Zakzaky, that did not commit any transferable offense, should be in detention for 2.5 years with his wife. And then nobody's talking about his 6 children that was killed. Tell me why somebody like Sambo Dasuki, who was accused of money laundering, which was just he carried the instruction given to him by a commander-in-chief. Apart from that, not like they found 1 billion naira in his account or they found multiple properties that he owns, and then court has given him, even if government does not know what is rule of law and what is the right thing to do under our Administration of Criminal Justice Act, but a court of competent jurisdiction, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, even the ECOWAS court, has granted him bail and said this man should go forward because the offense he's being charged is a bailable offense. Or somebody who has an oath, who took oath of office to defend the constitution, decides to violate that law and keep Dasuki and keep Azazaki and kept a lot of people, including me when I was kept there. Are you getting me? And people have not saying anything wrong with it. In developed country, this is gross misconduct. This is an impeachable offense. This is treason because you have raped the very basis of our constitutional democracy, which is our constitution, by violating it. But people just allow him to do that. And this is not one. Look at all the issues of violation of human rights across all parts of the country. So the question I keep asking myself, after all the toil, after all the struggle, after all the campaign, east, west, north, and south, that what did we get having President Mohamed Buhari as president? Other than the same old story that, oh, we have a man who is not corrupt, but corruption sticks under his administration. Oh, we have a man who is stingy, but who doesn't do a lot of money. But the people around him are riding in Porsche cars, buying new houses. I get him in Dubai, in everywhere, and there's nothing he has done about it. So, as long as I'm concerned, the APC administration is not just a failure, but a total disaster. And the least every Nigerian must do is to join hands together to send Buhari and his gang of politically incompetent party out of power and elected. And I say, APP is not desperate about being the one that must occupy Asoro. We are willing to work with any group or any people of like minds. But the agenda must be to rescue our country from this total political madness we have today. The economy is in a state of hiatus. And the only way we can save it is to shave him aside and bring leadership that will do 2 main things for Nigeria. 1, rebuild the battered economy that the 2 years reign of Buhari and his APC has fostered on us, and then unite the country. We are divided more than even before Lord look at march us together. This president has brought division to us. He has divided us on ethnic and religious lines. And today the line is so wide that everybody is after, each other. So the only way to unify the country and rebuild the economy is to take Mohamed Buhari out of office come February 2019 presidential election.